Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome to something new that I'm trying. So I've been posting videos on Instagram for about 2 years now of my fitness journey, and so I got the idea actually while I was working. I was like, you know what if I take the videos that I post on Instagram, record every workout, the last set like I've been doing for Instagram, and then make a full-length video just to show you guys a timeline of my entire workout from start to finish. Today is going to be the first day that I'm going to try that out. I'm recording this intro for the first time ever, just to sort of give you guys an idea of what I do, because very short form content works best on Instagram. I don't feel comfortable making like long videos, especially since viewer retention, especially for myself specifically, is pretty low. But it's easier for me to watch like YouTube videos and sort of listen to it as opposed to like 100% just watching it. Specifically, the idea I had was to walk you guys through the type of lifts I'm doing, explain them more in depth, probably muscle diagrams, help you guys understand why I'm doing a certain lift, like the reasons for it, the benefits, what I've learned over the years of the best way to do that particular lift. It's not going to sound nearly as good because this thing won't stop turning off on me. But the videos will still be very short. They're not going to be very long. It's going to be, I'm talking like maybe 8 sets. Maybe you're not talking like maybe 45 seconds to a minute. So the videos are probably going to be very short. Still, that's sort of the inspiration behind this idea. And just want to do my best and hopefully give you guys some good information and hopefully some encouraging words. So as I just said, let's get into it. Okay, so today we're in the old gym. This is where I started all my workout journeys about, I think it was 2021. It was shortly after I stopped working at FedEx, believe it or not. So this is where I did all my work. Obviously, I don't know if you guys remember from the videos, but today we're going to be working out here. Because of this video, I want to actually walk you guys through some of the shoulder workouts that I do personally to help me build like my shoulders and my delts. So what I'm going to be doing, because cardio has become really important for me for the past several months. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with probably 30 minutes of cardio, not too much. Probably walk at 3 or 4 inclines, something like that. Do about 30 minutes of that, and then we'll get into the lift. This thing's pretty old. It doesn't take my body weight too well. It actually pauses every time I take a step. Walk for about 30 minutes. Try to get our rate up a little bit. Mostly just work on cardio. Try and stay in I live in zone 2 type movement. Just kind of gets like the fat burning going. Get your metabolism moving and helps with like weight management, but it helps keep a lot of the body fat off. I've been doing mostly exercise bike riding, but that actually has some downsides for me personally. I don't know if it's because of my body mass or what exactly, but it's not as painful as when I first started, but when you don't ride a bike for a long time, it's very uncomfortable. I got over that, but it's been bothering my hips quite a bit. I actually have this thing where my chiropractor actually told me that my right hip is tilted out, and I believe it's because the job I've had now for going on 2 years, well, almost 2 years, I do a lot of driving. I've driven for hundreds of hours, and not trucking, I'm not driving like massive trucks or anything, but it's caused my hips to become, unbalanced. And so with like a lot of different things, even lifting, I've had to do a lot of isolated training on my right hip specifically. because it's tilted out, it's not as strong as my left hip. Kind of seems weird explaining it that way because you got your hips. I mean, you literally have a left and right hip, but it seems kind of weird to explain. But I think you guys understand. All right, so got the cardio out of the way, and I don't know why, but my left ankle was hurting really bad. It was actually really tight. I'm not sure why. It might be because of driving. I don't move my left ankle very much. So we got the cardio in, and I'm surprised the 30 minutes. I did incline 3. So I walk at 3.5 normally on the treadmill, and I put it on incline 5, whatever that is, 5 inches. I don't know what that means, but incline 5, 3.5 on the treadmill, and actually broke a sweat. I'm kind of surprised. I don't think I pushed it too hard or anything. It's just, I guess I'm not used to doing that. So there are several shoulder workouts that I do, mostly split up throughout the week. I don't have enough time to do all of my workouts on the 3 days of the week that I work out. So I'm gonna go back to a 5-day split, or at least 4-day split for now. So there's several different workouts I do. I do shrugs. I'll do lateral raises. I'll do the bent over lateral raises that target your back muscles, your back rear delts. And I also do the barbell pulls. What you want to do is, like I said, I use the easy bar. And you come up basically perfectly parallel to your shoulders. And try to imagine yourself taking your knuckles to your chin. That's what you want to do. And it works out multiple different muscles. It works out your traps, your rear delts. And hey guys, Mike here. I just wanted to pop in real quick and explain the muscle groups that I was targeting today are the lateral deltoid, the posterior deltoid, the trapezius superior portion, as well as the trapezius middle portion. Not so much your lats, but mostly your traps and rear delts. Just a really good workout, a lot of good squeezing there. And I like that workout a lot. So we're gonna do that, as well as maybe some bent over rows. We'll see. I got a protein bar. I'm working out at the family's house, so they got a lot of protein bars upstairs. So we got ourselves a protein drink and a protein bar. So I find personally that when you do shoulders, you want to be very opportunistic, and you want to choose the right workout first. Like for instance, on a back day, I'll do my cardio, then I'll do core, then I'll do pull-ups, lat pull-downs, and then my top set of deadlifts. You want to be very strategic how you lift your weights, because you don't want to tire yourself out too quickly. Now, I'm doing a lot of workouts that are going to target very similar muscle groups. Like I said, traps, front, rear delts, and deltoids, which is on the side. So I have to be strategic about what I hit first. So I find myself having the most trouble with, again, I'm not sure what it's called. I'll look it up and actually show you guys what it's called in post-production. But again, you just want to take your you want to take the weight, and I like to keep my shoulder blades pinned behind me and push my shoulder blades down at the start. Then you want to lift the weight up and pretend you're touching your chin. Oh, that was a bad rep. Whew. That wasn't the best. My elbows kept catching on the plates. I went ahead and moved the weights out a little bit, because I'm using the easy bar that you can load with plates. So hopefully my elbows won't catch as much. Each workout's different, especially with strength training. I like to wait about 2 minutes in between each set. if I can do more reps per set, sometimes I'll wait a little bit less time because it takes forever to get a workout in. I find personally with this particular workout, it's easy to cheat. And when I say cheat, there's a couple things that I'm talking about. So one thing I'll start to do is I'll roll my shoulders forward and basically just like, I don't shrug entirely, but it's like I just go at it to lift. I do kind of like this if you think about it. Whereas what you want to be doing, what I know, is you want to keep your your shoulder blades pinned, your lats engaged, and you basically just go straight up and down. You want to all in your shoulders, traps and rear delts. Like I said, you want to keep your lats engaged. And that's one thing that I actually struggle to do. So I'll do it sideways so you guys can sort of see time under tension. Kind of getting a protein overload with this protein bar and protein drink. So we do one more set because I do 3 sets per workout. But this time, I'm gonna face away, so hopefully you guys can sort of see from the back. Might need to also face the phone so you guys can hear me. See the rear activation on the rear side in mostly the traps and the shoulders. Oh, two important things I forgot to mention with that workout is when I turn to the side, you can see me do it, but you want to keep your shoulder blades pinned and you want to stick out your chest and activate your lats. So the easiest way to think about it is pin your shoulder blades and stick out your chest. That is going to activate your lats and get you in the correct position, perfect posture, so to speak, to lift straight up and straight down without doing this weird goblin type motion. That's the 2 things I forgot to mention. All right, so the next workout we're gonna do is shrugs. And the reason that is because if I don't do it like very early on, it gets to the point where I can barely even do them because all the other workouts work out very similar muscles. So we're gonna go ahead and get those out of the way right now. I'll show you guys how I do them personally. So I'm gonna start with somewhat lightweight. Basically what you wanna do, and I actually heard this directly from a bodybuilder, you wanna lift as heavy as you can. So almost pretend that it's a strength exercise, but really focus on form and proper posture. So again, pin your shoulder blades, stick out your chest, and what you wanna do is, be like, oh man, I don't know. Literally do this, yeah, I don't know. Also, go down, slowly, maybe 2-second negative. So, 1, 2, reset. If you have to, stick out your chest again and then back up. Also, pause at the top for about a second. And like with the first workout, we'll do 2 more sets facing to the left and then 1 in reverse. Again, this set, I'm going to face to the side. And again, pin your shoulder blades, stick out your chest, and then up.
how some people are double jointed where like their elbow, they can do this, but it's like this? I think you guys know what I mean. I think my shoulder is like that. And I think it's because of several years of sleeping on my right hand side. I got so used to rolling the shoulder in to the point where like I can lay down and this is completely comfortable. But if I do my left hand side, it just feels super awkward. And what happened was now my rear delts on this side are way weaker to the point where it's kind of hard to see, but basically this shoulder is like this. That's like super exaggerated, but that's how it feels. And if I pull it, if I square up, this is what it looks like. If I relax, that's what it looks like. Now, you can barely tell. I understand that. But like I said, it feels like it's rolled way forward. And so in some cases, this has actually caused me to get hurt. So in one case, I was using the incline press machine to build my upper chest. And when I do a lot of pressing motions, it's easy for me to roll my shoulders inward, which you don't want to do, because then that takes the activation away from your chest and puts it more in your arms. And so I was using the incline press machine, and I went up to complete a rep, rolled my shoulders because I wasn't thinking, and pushed extra hard with this arm specifically and got a crick right here. And I couldn't do incline press, bench press, basically at all, including dips, for 3 weeks, I think it was. I actually had a mini tear. It was not fun. So sometimes when it comes to doing these types of exercises, it's not just for aesthetics. For my case, it's to make sure that I have both sides of my body at the same amount of strength. And so for myself personally, when I'm doing these types of exercises, as I'm in the middle of a set, I will remind myself and I'll repin my right hand shoulder, not overcorrect, but almost like to make sure that I'm not rolling it inward, getting less activation, and potentially hurting myself in the future. So that's something to watch out for, especially as you get higher in weight. There's a lot of different things that can cause you to get hurt. I was actually listening to this expert, his name is Mike Israetel, and he said, and I agree with this, you could be lifting something that you've lifted 100 times. Out of the norm of the way that you normally do it, you can hurt yourself. Like you can strain a muscle, or in some cases tear a muscle. So that workout I was doing over 2 plates, that's all I know. Several reps. But I changed something. What I did is I overextended. That was one small change that gave me a mini tear. Now, from what I know, it wasn't nearly enough to cause me permanent issues. Like, I don't even, it never hurts. But it was a humbling reminder to focus on form and make sure you know what you're doing. All right, last set. Going to face away from the camera. And again, pin your shoulder blades, stick out your chest, and up. All right, and always put your weights away. Always put your weights away. That's a big issue that some people have, and I make sure to make myself put my weights away. All right, so the next workout we're gonna do is side lateral raise. And this one, there's a couple things when it comes to side lateral raise. One is because of the muscle that is working out, specifically your deltoid. Again, I'll put a diagram up explaining exactly which muscle group it targets. Deltoids, but this one, because it's such a tiny muscle, you don't want to use a lot of weight. You want to use lower weight, higher reps, and that'll give you more. You want to use lighter weight and higher reps to get more of a filled out sort of look. I know personally for myself, I don't know if you can see it well in lighting. It's kind of hard. There we go. So you can see here, it mostly targets this muscle right here. And again, here, let me roll my things up. So this one, you want to use the previous two starting positions. Pin shoulder blades, chest out. But this one, you want to bend your elbows. So I don't bend them very much, because if I bend them like this, I find myself doing all kinds of weird chicken wing type things. So what I do is like barely a bend, just like a comfortable, almost like normal standing posture. I normally stand like this. That's almost exactly how I lift. It's like I'm just standing. And the reason I do that is I can fixate more on my shoulders doing the pulling as opposed to my arms. Mind muscle connection is always very important. You want to simply lift with this muscle. So, you know, if you're just standing and you go like this, you do not want to deviate from this. If you're doing this, you're using the wrong muscles. If you're doing this, you're using the wrong muscles. As much as you possibly can, and it doesn't depend on how much weight you're lifting, it depends on your form. As much as is humanly possible, do this and nothing else. Don't move your body forward or back to get balance. Don't use your arms to lift more weight, because that's one thing that I struggle with. And again, do 3 sets. So breathe in as you come down and out as you go up. Out as you exert energy. Whoops. This exercise isn't super fun, I'm not gonna lie. I've had multiple days where I'm like, So you want to make sure you use light weight, but enough to tax the muscle. I understand this is more of like a bodybuilding type exercise. Not a lot of people are gonna need this, especially for strength training day to day. But in some cases, like my own personally, I want to become as athletic as I can. So I'm doing lots of cardio. I'm doing lots of core workouts and body weight training, push-ups, pull-ups, dips. But I also want to, as I lose body fat, I also want to make sure that I look well-rounded. I know this is more of a bodybuilding take, but some specific people, myself included, want more of an athletic build. Make sure the shoulders are the right size, you know, the chest, the legs, and all that. You don't want to, at the end of the day, have, you know, tiny shoulders and massive biceps, or tiny biceps and a huge chest. I just want to make sure that I look well rounded all around, and look like I know what I'm doing, you know. All right, so the next set, same thing. Shoulder blades pinned. I don't know why I keep saying that. Chest out and up. My left shoulder actually, my arm, dipped a little bit. So that's another thing. As you do the exercise, myself personally, what I find is as I start to tire, what ends up happening is I lift this part of my arm higher. And that's because when you're lifting weights, you want to focus on a particular muscle group. Because your body, with the way God coded us, if I pick up a dumbbell and I go like this, because of the way my body's hardwired, I'm going to go so high till this muscle gives out, and I'm going to transition the weight into more of my triceps, my biceps, my forearms to get the weight up high. This is how we are. You know, our body has to balance everything, make sure every single muscle is working to the best of its ability, so we don't get hurt, we don't strain something, so on and so forth. So when it comes to lifting weights, especially weights that are, muscle groups that are really small and fragile, so to speak, you have to make absolutely certain your brain knows to just use those muscles. So again, as you tire, it's easy to do sort of this action, you know, like I said, chicken wing kind of like. But again, you know, if you're tired, I understand that, but as much as humanly possible, don't deviate. Up, down, up, down. And if you find yourself doing that every single rep, move down in weight. This is one of the only workouts I do not mind being in low weight because of how small and relatively weak the muscle is. All right, last set. Same thing again. That workout sucks. Not as bad as some of my other workouts, but that workout sucks. Excuse me. All right, we got 2 more workouts left. We're gonna do bent over dumbbell flies. I believe that's what it's called. Targets the rear delts. And then we'll do some barbell rows, bent over barbell rows as well. All right, so I adjust the camera a little bit because I'm gonna be leaning over, probably about there. So the next workout I'm gonna do is bent over dumbbell flies. This one, you don't want to use too much weight. It's up to you. I use about 30s, seems to work best. So again, you're just up, pull, 1. This workout's not easy, and I'm definitely getting tired. Whew. And I keep thinking I'm seeing something in the corner. It's sketching me out. All right, next set. I might have to drop weight a little bit. These flies are no joke today. Wow. My form's getting pretty bad. Whew. You guys probably saw it, but I started this thing where I dip forward a little bit. Helps me get a little more momentum. You don't want to do that. And also, my shoulders. I think I'm shrugging a little bit. Again, with most of these workouts, unless you're doing shrugs, do not shrug. So again, squeeze 1. Wow. Whew. That's what I meant by a lot of the muscles, workouts, working out the same muscles. Whew. That dumbbell flies, excuse me, work a lot of the same muscles as, you know, the easy bar pull. Easy bar pulls works a lot of the same muscles. So again, move down in weight because my form was getting kind of shoddy. Still rough, but I was able to feel that squeeze. So again, that's what you want. It's gonna take me a minute to get the next workout set up. This is actually my dad's gym, and he does a lot of workouts down here ever since his hip surgery. And he leaves the weights. Now, mind you, I don't live here anymore. I don't work out here anymore. But he leaves his weights on the bar. It's like, really, man? Come on. So I gotta take the weights off. Ugh. Life is so difficult. Okay, so bend down, grab, parallel to the floor, and 1, 2, 3. Obviously with this exercise, I'm not going to be turning left and right. The bar's way too big. So I'm going to do these reps facing to the side. So again, bend down. Almost perfectly parallel to the ground. I'm going to bring my grip in a little bit more. Just outside of shoulder width. I'm making a weird noise. I'm not sure why. All right. Last set. Again, try to do 6 reps. I try not to make that weird noise I was making. I hope you guys can actually see. Yeah, you should be able to see everything. Okay. I can't tell because I'm so fixated on the actual lift. All right. Whew. Oh. There we go. There's a few variations I do for shoulders. I don't think they're necessary today. That wraps up my free weight training for what I do for shoulders. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you back at the crib. There we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Really hope I didn't yap too much. I'm not really sort of like keyed in on what I should say in the videos just yet. I don't know if you can tell, but I slowly swapped more of like a tutorial style video. Wasn't my intent, but you know, it still worked out pretty good. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to drop a subscribe, and thank you for watching again. God bless and have a good evening.